Hi, everybody. Rick here. Welcome to Digital Fortress and the D equals 0.5 halftime party for the Cardano network. And the Cardano mainnet went live in late July, early August timeframe. We had our first mainnet epic where D was equal to 0.9, and it was counting down since then. It's been 3 months now. And now after 3 months, D equals 0.5. And if you saw the recent IOG monthly product update at the end of October, the countdown, the D equals 0.5 countdown will continue. Right now it's 0.52. It's about to go to 0.5. So I just wanted to do a halftime kind of like AMA party kind of get together and hey, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see, I've got a few questions there in chat and I've got Daedalus wallet up and running and it is at 52% decentralization and we're about to go to 50% where at that point in about 4.5 minutes, what will happen is D will equal 0.5 and half of the community nodes will make the blocks and half of the federated nodes will make the blocks. Okay. So that's what's happening there. Hello, everyone. Jesus Christ. Good to see you there. And Dalabrana and Roadrunner. Hello. Welcome. And who else? Ahmed Aladli. Good to see you there. Gustav Holdenstrom, good to see you as well. Robert Scully, hello. Yeah, time flies. Time has flown by. It's flown by. 3 months have gone by, and people are making rewards. People are very happy with how it's going. The network average is about 5.3%. It was designed to give about 5.1% average rewards. The average pulls between about 5.3 to 5.5%. Suzanne recently did an analysis. If you see Suzanne on Twitter, you can see some of her spreadsheet analysis that she does. So hello, everyone. Good to see you there. Flower URL, Steve, hello. Rocky, good to see you. All right. Hey, we're on our way to number one. We're heading for number one. That's where we are going. All right. So I'll do a quick recap of the product update in case you have missed it. Yeah, it's been crazy how it's flown by, Lee. It has been crazy. I am going to do a screen share. It's just, I have some snippets from my Twitter account, and we'll just hit on a few of the highlights from the October product update from IOG. Pretty amazing stuff. Let me see if I can get that screen share up. I won't be able to see your comments in chat. So here's one of them, the ERC20 converter. This was a functional test shown. You can see the link up there if you can see my screen where it says portal.erc20converter.com. That's the portal where Vuk, shown down here in the lower left corner, actually did a live ERC20 conversion using the tokens shown here and migrated them over to Cardano. So we had a live ERC20 conversion there during the Cardano product update. It might have been pre-recorded, but it was, as far as the product update, it may have been pre-recorded, but it was shown there and it worked, functional, of course, obviously. And so that will be coming to the mainnet here in a little while. And did anyone, if you've seen, let me know in the chat if you saw the product update. And if you haven't, you can go check it out. It is pretty cool, that product update. So that was one of the big things going on there. Let me see what's the next one I have. We have in the list. Okay, we have the timeline. So I'm going to show you the timeline on the left-hand side. And we can talk about the timeline briefly. It's 4:43, so about 1 minute left. So let me do a quick screen share of that on the left. Okay, here's the product timeline shown in December 2020. As the Cardano testnet continues to run, at some point the native token is in a pre-production environment, the native token command line interface environment, then native token minimal viable product pre-production environment. Okay, then a native token hard fork combinator somewhere around February 2021, and then Goguen mainnet kicking off around February 2021. And by then we'll be very close to or at D equals 0. There might be a pause over the holidays. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause that. Let me see if I have, oh wait, I don't have my screen share up. Let me put that screen share. Yeah, I actually got to hit the share button. So I was talking about that. Mohammed, good to see you there. All right, so here's the timeline showing that December 2020 native tokens going into pre-production environment in the form of the test net. Okay. The minimum viable product pre-production environment, and then the native token hard fork combinator event, then Goguen mainnet in February 2021, if y'all haven't seen that. And there's a lot of other details in the timeline here. shown if you want to look at that in detail as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this away for a moment. And there's data lists. I've got data lists showing up on my screen where currently 48% of the blocks are produced by the stake pools and 52% of the blocks are produced by the federated nodes. Now, what will happen is as Daedalus updates here in about 2 seconds, 1 second. Okay, that was time 1644. Let me check the clock and see the clock here, okay? All right, now the current slot, we're on slot 6, slot 8, slot 10. So every 2 seconds, this slot updates. And we are now into the new epoch. Here we are into the new epoch, and here's the countdown clock. So we had it switch over, and we are at 50%. So congratulations, Cardano. Congratulations, Cardano Network. Good job to the pool operators. 50% decentralization. We are halfway there, y'all. We are halfway there. All right. So let me check chat word. 50%. Okay, 50%. All right. So what do you guys got going on? Any questions for me in there? Let's see. After native tokens, can we get another coin rewards with staking only ADA? I'm not sure what that means, Pekka. What you mean with the native tokens? Some of the native tokens, they might be made stakeable. They might be made to provide rewards via different ways. And I'll give you an example. There's a coin called LBRY. And if you use the LBRY application, then what happens is as you use those coins or you view videos and you interact with the LBRY application, you can earn LBRY coins. And someone might do something like that on Cardano as well. All right. Enchilada Steak Poll, Salad, how you doing? Good to see you there. You like my shirt. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Cheap Beta Steak Pool, woohoo, 50% decentralized. Another big milestone, party time. Vio from Armada Steak Pool is here. Welcome, Vio. Old Pa Sync. Exciting, very excited. Yes, sir. So when D equals 0, will that affect the rewards? No, when D equals 0, that will not affect the rewards. The network parameters are what determine the rewards and which pool you are delegated to and how effectively the pool makes its blocks. Those will affect the rewards. So you should still see the same rewards even when D equals 0. Some of the other network parameters might affect it. Raising K might cause a slight diminishment, but probably not much at all. I wouldn't expect to see too much of a change in the rewards there. So there we are. We got D equals 0.5, 50%. Well on our way. This version of Daedalus, just be alert to it. The stake pools shown here. Some of the stake pools. Let me see how it goes here. They're not all lit up. Let's see, I got to turn this up. So when you're using this version of Daedalus, make sure you crank up your delegation to the amount you're delegating. Let's say you're putting in bags of, I don't know, let's say you got a bag of 600K. Make sure you crank that slider bar up so it will light up the stake pools appropriately. You see it updating here. I know I did a video on this on my channel earlier on Daedalus 2.4.0. That way it'll light the stake pools up, get them all lit up, so you can pick the appropriate stake pool according to the amount you're delegating. Very important to use that slider bar to get these lit up. And I think what's helping there's the pools that have a certain either amount of stake delegated or some certain amount of pledge will show up on the default setting of 1,000. Okay, so make sure you crank that sucker up. Okay, all right. D equals 0.5. Now I'm going to bring my screen share down so I can see chat a little bit better here. Let's see, questions. Hello, Sebastian. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you there. Let's see, 25 epochs left until 0. That's correct. But there might be a pause. So Jesus Christ says that there might be 25 epochs left. There might be a pause over the holidays, but the countdown will continue. Next epoch will be the D parameter will equal 0.48, and then 52% of the blocks will be made by the community pools. And you know, the community pools did really well. About a month ago, we had some problems on the mainnet where block production had dropped below the 5% marker. I mean, it got down to like about 4.9% or something like that. And it turned out the community nodes were doing extremely well. They're actually holding the network up until that problem got resolved on the federated nodes. So well done to the community nodes in that case. Well done. Gustav Holstrom says, with 50% of the blocks coming from the private pools, there's a higher risk of Sybil attacks. Still a small chance, though. Will the relevance of the pledge be raised to counter this reality? So what Gustav is asking there is the A0 parameter. I don't know if the A0 parameter will be raised. The network seems to be relatively Sybil attack resistant already. The cost of starting a pool, the effort of starting the pool, those are working out pretty good. My only real concern is people creating fake pools. There is a real Digi3. You see that on mine. I have the number listed on my website, the pool ID that can't be faked. It starts with a 08, but there are fake pools being made. And what will happen is one of two things. People can either start a fake pool for only 500 ADA and then not start the block producer. And the problem with that is people may delegate to that pool and they won't get rewards. Okay, so that's one problem. And the other problem is people might start a fake pool name in order to get you to delegate to the pool. And they didn't really put in the effort to create the brand or create the products that that pool creates. So yeah, you got to watch out for the fake pools. Make sure you're delegating to the one you intend to delegate and not a spoof pool. Big Pay, what's up, Big Pay? I thought you might have been doing halftime stream. Good to see you here, sir. Welcome, Big Pay, as well. Let me see, did I get any questions? Yeah, so it's relatively Sybil attack resistant already. I don't think they need to raise the A0 parameter right now, currently set to 0.3. Okay, so the next 50% of the journey will be better, hopefully. Yeah, so there might be a pause around the holidays where D does not count down over the holidays in case there is a problem with the network. Once D's at a stable low point, they'll just pause and wait, and then let after the holidays start messing with it again and start bringing it down again, so that you don't have network issues arise over the holidays, and you might not have the staff on hand to compensate for those. But then again, the community pools have been doing quite well, and the Haskell code is extremely resilient, precision. It runs a very long time without the need to mess with it very much. So that should be good. Matthew Marino says 2021 is going to be a huge year for Cardano. I think it's huge for Cardano, but the next thinking about the next decade. Yeah, the next decade is going to blow up. 2020s is a decade of Cardano. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions there? Let me know. Sugar Zeus, good to see you, sir. Sugar Zeus. Hey, Sugar Zeus, I have a channel. I'll drop a link over here. There's a channel for YouTubers. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called Cardano YouTube Telegram channel. And I just copied the link. I'll drop it over here in the chat. And that Telegram channel is to help Cardano YouTubers get visibility in there. I'll put a tag on your name that says YouTuber, like Big Pay is in there, and it says YouTuber next to his name. And that way, if developers or pool operators want to find a YouTuber to help promote their product, advertise their product, sponsor the YouTube channel, whatever they want to do, is they can go in that channel, the Cardano YouTube Telegram channel, and find that YouTuber. That way you can make direct contact with your favorite YouTuber, and you can help get your new Cardano product that you're creating. Maybe you're creating an NFT. Maybe you are creating a tradable, a fungible token. The NFTs are non-fungible tokens. And so what I think you guys know about that. So anyway, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to produce on Cardano, feel free to jump over there on the Cardano YouTube channel. Earlier today, I had a live stream with Mark Stopka with the D Cloud and Dwayne Cameron with the Liquid project. So I have that live stream over my channel, and that was fantastic. And that's a perfect example of what I'm trying to do with the Cardano YouTube channel. And I talked with Pay before we made it, and Pay thought it was a good idea, and we bounced it off a couple other YouTubers, and they kind of liked the idea. So go check that out, the Cardano YouTube channel. Link is over there on the side. All right, let me see what else we got here. What is the Coinbase listing requirement standard? That was from same day. I do not know what the Coinbase listing requirement standard is. However, they do have a decentralization requirement. I don't know exactly what their metric is that they use. I don't know if Cardano D parameter would have to equal 0, or if D equals 0.5 is close enough. I mean, they do have EOS on there, which runs off of 21 block producers out of the 30 or 40 so block producers that are on standby as well. So, I mean, right now, Cardano has about 1,200 pools, and 50% of the blocks are being made by about 500 pools. So that's pretty decentralized, because the other 50% is not centralized. It's made by federated nodes that are controlled by IOG, Mergo, and the Cardano Foundation. So we'll see how that goes. And another really important point is that the Cardano stake is very highly distributed. That's a very important point that DC had brought up earlier today and in previous events that we've had DC on, is that Cardano stake is very well distributed. It's not like piled up in one location like some other tokens that I will not mention. Let's see. So let me see. Oh yeah, Enoch Sosh says, I hate the new dayless ranking. Anyone else also hates it? Yeah, there's a lot of people that hate it because if you do not turn up the slider bar, you can't see those pools lit up. You have to turn up the slider bar. Otherwise, it looks like the pools are ineffective. Now, from what I've heard on the October product update, the dayless rankings are working correctly, but I think that default slider position is in the wrong spot. I think it needs to be a little further to the right, maybe up in a higher zone so that you can see those pools lit up that you want to delegate to. So yeah, I think that's part of the problem there. The fix for dataless is to raise the K parameter. Okay, so it might be raised K to 500 when they can, possibly to 1,000, but that would have to be as the price of ADA rises. They would have to, the price would have to come up so the pools are sustainable. Right now, I did a Twitter poll where the pools are about averaged out. You have about 50% of the pools are either breaking even or making a profit. 50% of the pools are running at a loss. So if you just kind of merge them together, the median pool is about breaking even, which is okay for a young cryptocurrency like this. It's probably sustainable for some period of time. The key is sustainability. Remember, that's a pillar of Cardano, sustainability. So you'll probably see the K parameter rise as the price of ADA rises. You'll probably see it rise anyway to some number, some point, in order to facilitate getting those pools compensated so that a lot more of the pools can at least break even and keep those nodes up and running. Okay. Will K increase affect the rankings? I don't know, Rudy Russell. I do not know if K increase will affect the rankings. I don't think it will. I think what it will do is it will just allow more, it will, gosh, I should have thought this through before I started to try to answer it. But anyway, if someone has an answer, let me know in the chat. K will cause the protocol to make more pool. It'll lower the saturation point. Okay, so right now K 150 saturation is about 210. I think I calculated if K goes to 500, I think saturation drops to like 63 million. If you can do the math real quick, just take a 31.8 billion divided by 150. That gives you about 211 million. Then you do 31.8 billion. I'll pull up a calculator real quick while we're talking. 31.8 billion divided by, let's say 500. If K equals 500, then what we will have is, yeah, you have saturation at 63.6 million. And what that will do is the pledge will start, or the down. What you'll see is the stake in the largest pools will shift down to the medium-sized pools until those medium-sized pools hit saturation at 63 million. Right now, medium-sized, in my estimation, is between about 30 and 50 million. That's about medium-sized, 30 to 50 million. So you'll see that stake shift from the pools that are in the upper range and shift to the middle range. Then you'll see some of the stakes shift from the mid range down to the lower range, the small pool range, which I consider to be, based on my Twitter polls, between about 5 to 7.5 million is considered in the small pool range, if you will. There's no exact definition, right? There's no exact definition of size. 5 years from now, K could equal 2,000, whereas at that point, saturation would be something a little less than 20 million. And by that point, ADA would be something well over $1, most likely. So you'd still do quite well to run a pool, even at K equals 1,000, depending on the price of ADA, of course, depending on the price. Again, never financial advice on Digital Fortress. I don't do financial advice, but I do have a calculator, so I can run a little bit of math. Let's see, any other questions there? How would you define well-distributed? Okay, Jago asks, how would you define well-distributed? Because for me, it is not looking like that. I'm referring to the stake distribution. Okay. Yeah, the stake distribution right now may not be well distributed, but also the pledge distribution is also kind of heavy. Wow, what's well distributed? Well, let's put it this way. Is it a lot more than, I don't know, EOS or Tezos or some of the other tokens? You would have to compare it. I saw a comparison chart once, the percentage and the level of distribution. Okay. It's still a young cryptocurrency. So as time goes on, it will continue to distribute, but it's pretty well distributed. Okay. Distributed as in the coins. The coins are distributed among organizations is what the key is there. I did an estimation on pledge, and I tried to figure out why are there only 225 pools lit up in Daedalus at the default 1000. And what I found was that if your pledge is about 500 to 550,000 or higher, chances are it will be lit up. Or if your stake is at about 50 to 60 million or higher, it will also be lit up. But that is not a solid rule of thumb. That is not a solid rule of thumb. It's just kind of in general. That's how it looks. Okay. Let's see here. Any other questions? Oh, how many digi pools will there be when K equals 500? Well, put 3. I'm limited by pledge. Pledge works, right? Pledge works. The A0 works. I mean, yeah. So 3 pools, K equals 500. I'm never going to limit myself, though. I'll never tie my hands. I'll never say only 3, right? Because someday K might equal 2,000. And we'll see. I pay attention to the market. I pay attention to people. I pay attention to how things go and adapt as we go. Right. And that's one thing that's very important. Make sure you do market analysis. Right now, someone who's new to Cardano might say, hey, I might think about opening up a pool. Well, you got to look at market analysis. What is the average pledge? Right now, the top 20% of the pools have greater than average pledge or higher. So the average pledge right now is about 273 million. That's the, or 273,000 is the average pledge. Well, if you follow it up the chart, it kind of hits the Pareto distribution where it's 20-80. 20% of the pools have average or above pledge. Okay. So maybe A0 is working a little bit, or maybe the Sybil attack resistance is occurring naturally. I'm not sure. John Phelps asks, can you quickly explain stake, pledge, and saturation? I'm still confused. What are the scenarios for picking pools? I'd say the best scenario for picking pools is to go on Pool Tool and use the sort features on there. 2 different good, and ADA pools also. So there's 2 different good ways of doing it. Go on Pool Tools, use the sort features, find the type of pool you would like. You can either go by consistent ROS, which would be the larger pools that have a consistent ROS from epoch to epoch, the previous to the current epoch, or you can look for the higher ROSs, which is going to fall into a sweet spot zone somewhere between about 10 and 25 million. You might find pools hitting about 6%. Again, not financial advice. And if you kind of like to play roulette, if you get down there in the 2 to 2.5 million and you pick a pool that usually hits a block per epoch and hits 2 blocks, you might find an ROS of about 12%, 15%. Check it out on Pool Tools and sort. Use the sort features on there. If you want an easy method, you can go to ADA Pools, and you go to ADA Pools. They run an algorithm, and you can just go down. They have a ranking system that they have there, and they explain it on ADA Pools. You can use their ranking system if you don't want to use the sort features over Pool Tool. Okay, let's see. John Phelps asked, does pledge mean you have to own the ADA coins? Yes. Pledge is the pool operator has to own the ADA coins to pledge to that pool. And in the case of pledge, it's in effect, it is locked. Now, ADA is never locked for pledge or stake. I mean, I have ADA pledged and I can move it at any time. But if my pledge drops below what the pledge says whenever I issued the certificate for the pools, if it drops below, nobody gets rewards. Okay. And that's why you don't see pledge pools forming, because there's a very high risk that if someone sees a green candle and they sell their ADA, poof, you don't meet your pledge, nobody gets rewards. Okay, so the pool operators own the pledge. That's what that means. And you can't just move it. I mean, you can move it, but if you drop below your pledged amount, then nobody will get rewards until the pledge is met. All right, let's see. Tyler Nelson has a question. How many different pools are people delegating to? I'm delegating to 4 pools. Okay, so Tyler's asking a question in general to the audience. How many are you delegating to? Right now, I'm delegating to 2. I was delegating to 7 pools up until a few epochs ago. I know Susan said, I think she's delegating to 12 pools. What you can do in Daedalus is you can make multiple wallets. I'll see if I can show I made 9 wallets in the version of Daedalus I have right now. On a Daedalus Flight variant, I did make 20 wallets in Daedalus. In Yoroi, you can make multiple wallets in Yoroi. I made 3 wallets in Yoroi. So wait, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 wallets delegating. So I got 3 in Daedalus, 5 wallets, 3 in Daedalus, 2 in Yoroi. So I got 2 instances of Yoroi, 1 with Trezor, 1 with Ledger, and those are also delegating to pools. So you can make multiple wallets in Yoroi. You can put your Ledger and or Trezor and or multiple ledgers and or not Ledger or Trezor, and you just make multiple Yoroi wallets and delegate from each one. If you don't use Ledger or Trezor, you can make as many Yoroi wallets as you want and delegate to multiple pools. Okay, so it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. You can make multiple wallets. I do have videos showing how to make multiple wallets. Pay says, even though you earn 12% from the smaller pools at 1.2 million, you're paying 80% of your rewards to fees. Yeah, that's one thing you got to watch out for. You got to do the math. You pay close attention to the math. And he doesn't hear people talk about doing away with those fees, the 340 minimum pool fee. Now, here's where the 340 ADA minimum pool fee, that will have to change in the future. And I'll give you an example. What was the all-time high of ADA? I remember $1.27. I don't think it might have hit $1.31. So 340 ADA right now is about $32 every 5 days, which I mean that's for the pool operating cost, $32 every 5 days, which comes out to about $180 a month, which is enough to run a server and put some time into it, but it doesn't entirely compensate you for the amount of time. Okay. So it'll pay for your operating cost of the server itself, but it won't pay for your operating cost of your time and effort expended. All right. So 340 is not a bad number, but once ADA hits, let's say it hits $1 hypothetically, because it has done it before. So that would be $340 minimum per epic, right? So that number would probably at some point change in the future, I'm assuming, kind of like K, for the minimum operating cost. But it depends. It depends. That's a good point there, Pay. All right, let's see here. When will Digi3 start making blocks? I think that's next epic. I can look it up now. It got delegation. The first epic it came up. This epic. Actually, it'll make epics this. It'll make blocks this epic, and then it had like 2.8 million at the snapshot. Let me see if it has active stake. I'm going to hop over to Pull Tool real quick and check it over there and see if it says active. I'm trying to search my memory, ask me questions, and my memory still does okay, but sometimes I just got to look it up. Okay, let's see here. Digi3 live and active stake. Oh yeah, so Digi will make blocks this epic. It'll make blocks this epic. The active stake is 7.58 million for this epic. Yeah, so Digi3 will make blocks this epic. There you go. Thanks for asking. I was going to check that, but I was so excited about doing the halftime live stream, and I realized, wow, it's getting late. I better go get the live stream up if we're going to do that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Enoch asks, before you sign off, give us your thoughts on Project Catalyst. Project Catalyst is the largest decentralized autonomous organization, the largest DAO in the world. So that's my thoughts on it. That's pretty amazing that it came up that quickly. Now it'll probably migrate from Project Catalyst. It'll still be Project Catalyst, but eventually you'll see the proposals migrate into a voting app where you'll read like a summary, like a very short Reader's Digest version of the proposal, and then you can vote on it in there. And if you want to see how that works, check out how it works on Dash and Tezos. Okay, they have working versions of it, and I looked at their models and how theirs works. And you can see a percent probability that a proposal might pass, or the percent probability that a proposal might not pass is listed on but Dash and Tezos. And eventually the Project Catalyst, as the apps come up, we'll see how that goes. I can't see it yet because I have an iPhone, and the Catalyst app is not on iPhone yet. It's on Android. So if anyone has it on Android, I think Pay has it on Android. If you've done a video on that, go check those out over on Pay's channel. Let's see. What would be a decent pledge if I want to run a pool? Well, right now, the network average is 273,000. You can look it up on the Pool Tool app. So I would say you would have to gauge your budget and compare it to the network average. But right now, pledge really doesn't seem to do anything. One thing people have to be careful of is the race to 0%. There are a lot of pools dropping down to 0%. I don't believe 0% is a sustainable number. That's just my opinion. That's opinion only. I do not believe 0% is sustainable. Oops, I got an iPhone update and it reorganized everything. Let me just type it in here. So on a Pool Tool app, I'll see what the average is. So I would say, go with network average. If your budget can support that, 273,000 might be a good number. Let's see. Jesus Christ asks, can we vote to lower that parameter? Yeah, eventually. If someone submits a proposal that gets through the process to the point where that the parameters can be voted on, then at that point, yeah, you can vote on lowering parameters. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I think the vote is a pass or fail thing. So I think the way I imagine it would happen, they would say, okay, should we make K equals 500? For example, this is just an example. Say K equals 500. Vote yes or no. And if it passes with yes votes, then K would go to 500. But they can't do like a poll vote where they say, hey, pick one of the 4 parameters. Do you want K to equal 500, 750, 900, or 1,000, right? And then you pick from the 4. I don't think it will work that way. It could, but I don't think that's how it's going to go. I'm waiting for, I forgot. I turned my Wi-Fi off because elections are coming up, and I turned my cell phone off completely while I'm doing a live stream because I keep getting texts and phone calls from all kinds of spam because of U.S. election season on Tuesday. So I had to just turn it off. It's just junk. I don't even want to listen to it. So there you go. Let's see. Will ZK snarks play a role in voting? I'm not sure. Zero knowledge snarks. I think they're used in cross-chain. I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to look up more data, so I can't answer that question. Let's see. The number one pool on Daedalus has 7 million pledge and 0 margin. What are your thoughts on that? The number one pool has 7 million pledge. That's a big pledge. Ooh, that's big. That's pretty big. But the 0 margin, I don't know. I guess it depends on their strategy. If you got a 7 million pledge and you run a pool, it's a completely decentralized protocol, so you can do whatever you want. Let me see which pool that is. P2P validator, yeah. And they're at 99.52% saturation. Oh, and don't be afraid of the saturation boogeyman. Those pools that are very high up there. I mean, the protocol is designed to saturate K pools. So, yeah, I call it the saturation boogeyman. I mean, the closer to saturation a pool is, the more consistent the block rewards will be. I mean, it's true. That's how it was designed. Let's see. Any other questions? If there's no other questions, that was the halftime. I do have a few other things from the IOG summit I was going to touch on. It was really cool. Let me see if I still have those up. Summary of IOG. Let me see. So we hit on a few of them. The ERC20 converter was one of them. That was really big. Marlowe. Let's see what else here. Okay. Oh, the DAO question. The Project Catalyst is now the biggest DAO in the world. There are 96 proposals on the ballot, 673 registered community advisors, 127 participating community advisors, 1,780 assessments given. So those community advisors are very busy. They're very busy. 3,345 members on Idea Scale. And let's see, 719 on the Telegram announcement channel. And for the Project Catalyst on Android, the Catalyst downloads on Android is 2,000 app downloads. So once it goes out on iOS, you're probably going to get another 2,000, okay, or more. Okay, so nice work there. There was a Goguen program rollout. And yeah, let me see. Anything else in the summary? Yeah, so that's pretty much for a summary. A lot of stuff. Check that out. The IOG, it's on their YouTube channel. That is the IOG October monthly product update. It was fantastic. Oh, the Marlowe Playground. I have another summary point here. Professor Simon Thompson went from a JavaScript code, so you can either write it in Plutus or JavaScript. So we went from JavaScript to compile, send to simulator, view in Blockly in less than 10 seconds. And he had a Blockly set up in the Marlowe Playground. So that was pretty cool. That was really cool. All right, that's all I got for you. I'm going to wrap it up here. Any other questions? Let's see. How will native tokens affect the ADA price and the market take-up? That's a question from Gib Guy. That's a good question. I don't know, because the cool thing about native tokens is they will have the same propulsion system as ADA. They will be treated as first-class citizens. So if a native token is launched on Cardano, let's say we called it Bob Coin, okay? Bob Coin will operate just like ADA on the Cardano network. You will not have to burn ADA to move Bob. Okay. Like right now with the ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum network, if you want to move an ERC20 token, you have to pay gas. You pay the gas fee to move it. But with the native tokens will burn themselves for that purpose. Okay. So that is pretty cool. And, you know, I've always wanted that. That was the biggest pain. I played with ERC20 tokens a lot on Ethereum on the Saturn network. I played with the ERC223 tokens on the Saturn network. And the only thing I didn't like was I'd have to chase tokens around with little bits of ETH and Ethereum Classic. I'd have to chase them around to move them. And sometimes I've had little bits of dust in there, and a little bit of OCD kicks in. I'm like, I don't like having that little dust in there. So I move more Ethereum in to get the dust out and end up spending more money to move the dust. Kind of silly. I know it's silly, but I'm sure there's other people that do the same thing. Let's see what else. Any other questions? Lots of questions. Thank you, Gib Guy. I hope that helps. Native tokens will be treated like ADA on the Cardano network. That's the key. Pay needs your vote for the fund. So that would be Pay's proposal he's got out there. It's doing extremely well. Congratulations, Pay. You're doing awesome, man. Let's see. You're keeping all this stuff Linux friendly. I don't know what that question is too. Right now, currently, all of the node having the ability to deploy a Cardano node to build a pool node is very Linux friendly. So it's best or easiest to use a Linux flavor. I use Linux 20.04 Ubuntu 20.04 currently. CentOS works well. I ran it on Mac early in the Jormungandr Rust stages, but haven't run it on Mac for quite a while. All right, let's see here. Okay, no other questions. All right, I'm going to wrap up the live stream. Thanks everyone for the halftime with Cardano here. The halftime D equals 0.5. So Cardano's doing great. Everything's going great. And we'll see as the products start to deploy here with Goguen. Things will be deploying on the test net in the upcoming months. So let's see how that goes. All right, y'all have a great day. Take care. Have a good one. Thanks for watching Digital Fortress. Bye-bye.